Hi, welcome to week 5 of 52 video blogs for Health Alchemy, Craig Lane. I'm going to attempt this week to try to tie together some seemingly disparate concepts that we have in Western thought, Western physiology with how things work on an emotional scale and how they work in the cycles of life. So I'm reading a 21-day kidney cleanse, post-holiday cleanse, and in our world of isolated thinking, we tend to think, how do I cleanse my kidneys? And we don't just cleanse our kidneys. When we do a cleanse, we're always starting with sort of top-down approach. So when we're cleansing, we're looking at cleansing the gut, because all the blood from the guts, all the nutrients from the gut, everything from the gut, all the toxins from the gut end up somewhere else, and ultimately they end up in the liver usually first, or in the lymphatic system. So when we say that 80 to 90% of our immune system's around our gut, then what we're really saying is our gut and our choices are our immune system. So when we lead a kidney cleanse, one of the things we're going to tie together today is how does the kidneys tie in with the water element, which is something we talk about in Chinese medicine. How does it tie in with DNA and the chromosome, which has to do with how new cells are made in our body, which is sort of like how we go about making new parts of our life or creating new things in the outer world. So the small always mirrors the large, and I will humbly offer to some thoughts and some ideas in the next few minutes about these things. And as my teacher once said, I'm going to try and fail well, because you're not going to get it all done, or I won't get it all done here. But at least we'll have some food for thought. So in the cycle of life, in the cycle of growth and decay, the perpetual cycles here, we look at the dream is the water element. And many of us know that that's the starting point. In the Native American medicine wheel, the east is the direction of new life, or the starting of something, and that's the water element. And from water all things came, and from water ultimately all things will end up on some level, or in the earth, here on the in this plane. So if we're going to build a new dream, we have to let go of the old first, though, and that's where metal feeds water in Chinese medicine, or we have to let go of the old. And you watch nature, trees don't have to let go of their old fruits. Plants don't have to let go of their seeds. It just happens naturally in the flow of things. And then once the old growth lets go, it's mulched, it's digested, it's decomposed by worms and microbes and other things. And then that's brought back into the cycle of life for the new. And so when we do a kidney cleanse, what we're doing is we're getting rid of some of the old crap of last year, especially all the ideas we had about the way things should be and how we want our year to go, and also how we want new cells to be made. So when we talk about in Chinese medicine, the kidney has a lot to do with fear. And so do we have the willpower? A lot of this is, do we have the willpower to change enough? Do we have the willpower to let go? Or can we find within us what's already let go? So when we overcome fear and we overcome doubt, then we can find trust and reassurance through just continually facing. And then water feeds compassionate action, or in Chinese medicine we look at water feeds wood, and the wood element sometimes is viewed as being analogous to plasma. And as it turns out, most of the universe is made of plasma, and the electrical fields that we find in our bodies and in the universe and in the galaxies, they're all related to this, that electricity moves well through plasma, and so signals move well through an unburdened system, if you will. So taking action on our dreams is the next step, and that's where our good liver health is important. Because if our liver's clogged up, then every time we take action, there's going to be some obstacle that's going to arise in our cells and our tissues, and it's going to mirror potentially in the outer world. And then once we make action in alignment with our highest goals, then our heart is full of joy. And so that's the fire element. And fire takes action. It doesn't think about taking action. Fire just burns. And also on the level of fire is like thought. So water controls fire, doesn't it? And so when we look at this, we're looking at really, we're really looking at it on a deep level. Can we let go? Can we let go enough to move into something new? And so the DNA of our body is nothing more than a sort of a hard drive storage bank, and the actual brain of the cell is in the membrane. So we have this brain, and we have all these sensory apparatus, like antenna. We can see, we can feel, we can touch, we can taste. And our cells also have these antennae around them, and they can sense the environment they're in. And if they're in a toxic environment, it's like if we're in a toxic emotional or physical environment, we're going to contract, and then we're not going to reproduce as healthily, nor are our dreams going to come true. And so it is with the cells of our body too. We've all discovered, many of us who've meditated also discovered that the cells respond on some level to the thoughts we're thinking and the emotions we're feeling. So we're looking at, on a deep, deep level, getting this trust back in ourselves that life is good and life can be good, and the willpower to overcome our habits, because really we want our water element. We want to deep into those deepest secrets of life. And it's funny because in Chinese medicine, the elemental spirit of water has to do with willpower, and it has to do with vitality, and it's how a person masters life and knows themselves and is soft with themselves, and how the kidneys receive all the essence of what we digest, and how the air we breathe, and the storage. So the analogous part of the water element in the kidney in Chinese medicine is the bones are they concentrate down what we take in, and the ears are places that are also very concentrated connective tissue, so it condenses and materializes essence. So the kidney energy field is seen in connection with the chromosomes, and you can see that how our life path, if you will, is sort of stored in these memory banks in the chromosomes, and as it is with the Earth, moving through the galaxy, spinning around the sun, with the sun spinning around the galaxy. And so as the Earth is actually moving in space, it's moving in a DNA helix. And there's some brilliant YouTube footage of this by a number of people showing that the Earth doesn't travel in a circle, but it travels in a DNA helix. And so the Earth also has a sort of chromosomal energy field that can be seen back in family lineages and cultural lineages and memories that go back potentially thousands or millions of years. So the exploration of some of these things, we have to sort of do for ourselves. I'd like to say that this path is simple and easy, and it is on one level if we just let things be and see what comes up in the moment. And so how can we move forward? And I think one of the things we can move forward is by demonstration of willpower, by demonstration of trust that I'm going to let myself, like this week we're on a liquid diet with the cleanse, and we're all doing our best because it's wintertime and it's not the time to fast or eat too much raw food, although here in California it's a beautiful day here in Santa Cruz, as you can probably see behind me. 60 degrees, 65 degrees, and so better time of the day right now in the afternoon to do a bit of raw or smoothies, and then have the hot liquids like the soups or the stews or the juices, or the soups or the stews, or the warmer foods in the morning and the evening. So it's a bit of a ramble today, but I hope that we got something out of that, tying the cycle of life together, but it all begins where we are now, and that's why we make New Year's resolution. And we go through the cycle of proceeding to take action, and then the joy of seeing our actions are coming to fruition, and then seeing the fruition of our actions. Like in my practice, what I love about it is I get to see people's progress and the fruits of their progress, and then finally, sometimes the beginning stage is just letting go, but just understanding that life itself in nature doesn't work at growing or letting go. It just is, and there's a certain surrender that if we just let things be more, especially in our own consciousness, that I think that our DNA and our chromosomes kind of let things be more, and we get swallowed up by this beautiful love of sort of what's already present. And I look forward to speaking more, and for the next video blog. Have a beautiful day.